Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, it's David here and welcome back to another video. I'm very excited today because we're going to talk about a game that I'm also very excited about, which is Persona 3 Reload. It's right around the corner, February 2nd, 2024. I'm sure a lot of y'all are waiting to play that game. Quick update, I'm not playing it either, just to get it out there. Still no arrangement with ATLUS for us to get review copies early like we used to, so that is a bummer, but not the end of the world. I still have something to say though, so if you're new to the channel, you would like to have weekly content on anything ATLUS or other JRPGs, you are on the right channel. Make sure you subscribe and ring that notification bell, and if you like the video, a quick thumbs up is always a huge help. So Persona 3 Reload has been very interesting to talk about from reveal to release because there was some controversy around the game, right? I made some videos before talking about what's going on with P3 Reload. There is some content that fans would like to have in the game that it's not there. Let's get the elephant out of the room out there. The female main character, Kotone, however you want to call her, she is not in Persona 3 Reload. The new content, or at least some of the new content that was featured in the second re-release of Persona 3 back in the day on PS2, Persona 3 FES, the answer is a chapter in the game that is not either in Persona 3 Reload, and fans have been asking for that. Now, ATLUS is an interesting company to speculate on because sometimes they do stuff that you cannot predict. Back in 2019, we saw the release of Persona 5 Royal, and that was a re-release of Persona 5 at $60 with, well, still with some DLC, but it added a lot of content. It added some new characters, like 2 very important new characters, a new antagonist, a whole new semester that added a bunch of content. Big re-release, and regardless of it being $60 and only 2 years after the original launch, people were still excited for it because of the new content. And I was looking at P3 Reload, I was looking at the complaints from the fans, and I'm like, is ATLUS really going to do a royal version of Persona 3? And that's what I want to speculate on today. And obviously, if it happens, we're not going to see that anytime soon, right? It's going to be in a while, right? But I think a royal version of the game could fix what people have been asking for. P3 Reload seems to fix a bunch of things, to be honest, and I'm still very excited for it regardless of the missing content. Tartarus is now looking great, it's looking diverse, and I'm thinking it's going to be fun to explore, more than in the original. It added quality of life stuff, right? Party control is the main thing that newer fans definitely need, in my opinion, that some of the older fans like myself also like to have, so that is now a feature, the fatigue system being gone. They really changed a lot of great stuff with this re-release of P3, and I think it's going to be, regardless of the missing content, the definitive version of P3. Now, it's hard to call it a definitive version if there's missing content, and I know some of y'all will tell me that. And I cannot blame you all. I agree in some way. That content, the answer in a gameplay sense, I have an opinion on it, and I talked about it too many times already. I don't want to go back to that, but I think if they are changing some of the stuff in terms of gameplay, it's feasible. And I think a royal re-release of Reload could fix that. You can add the answer, that additional chapter, and make it fully playable in the Reload engine now. And you could also give us a brand new playthrough that you can do with the female main character, which includes different tracks, different soundtrack, and also new social links, new confidence to talk about. And I think that would please pretty much everyone. But is ATLUS really going to do it? Because at this point, we have Persona 3 on PS2, we have Persona 3 FES on PS2, we have Persona 3 Dancing, which is a spin-off, I'm aware. We have Persona 3 Reload now coming out, and we have Persona 3 Portable on PSP, and we have a massive quotes here remaster of Persona 3 Portable, which is now also on modern platforms. So it is a lot of re-releases of P3. But then I'm looking at P5 and I'm like, well, my dude, P5 is available on PS3, it's available on PS4, and then it got remastered for PS5, Xbox, Switch, and PC. With Royal, there's the original Royal version, which is also on PS4, and there is a ton of spin-offs. So, I'll be honest, y'all, my thinking is if Persona 3 Reload does extremely well in terms of sales, like it's a huge success, then maybe we see a Persona 3 Reload Royal version, or a Persona 3 Reloaded Royalish version. I don't know how they're gonna call it, but I certainly think it's a possibility. If you asked me that question with other publishers and developers, I wouldn't be sure. But Atlus, they are the type of company to pull out such a move, and I'm very curious about what you guys think on this one. Do you think it's a possibility, and how would you react if it happened? It would leave a bitter taste in my mouth for sure when it comes to a royal version of Reload, because at this point, I'm hoping. I know some of y'all want that additional content. I'm not necessarily in need of the female main character to be back and FES the answer to be back. I'm glad with what they're bringing up, what they're giving to us with Reload, and I think it's fine for me, but I understand people wanting it. I'm not necessarily in that camp. So for me, if they do re-release Reload with that content for 60, it would leave a bitter taste for sure, because Reload is supposed to be that definitive version of P3. It's finally that version that people have been asking for ever since FES dropped and Portable dropped, where there's a bunch of videos out there talking about which version should you play. Should you play Portable? Should you play FES? And honestly, there's no real answer, because no matter what version of the game you play, even after Reload comes out, there's still no definitive, complete version of Persona 3. And if you ask me what I think is really going to happen, I have to place my bet on I don't think we're going to get another P3 release after. So I think, as I said in the video, I think a royal version or some type of new version with the missing content is possible. I don't think it's likely though, because if you read the interviews from the developers at Atlus, it does not really feel like they want that content in the final version that they're putting out there of Persona 3. If you read the interviews from the development team where they talk about some of the content in FES that is in Reload and some of the other content that isn't, it feels like they wanted this. It feels intentional. They don't say, oh, we had not enough budget to port the answer or to redo all the cutscenes with FeMC. They don't even say that. It could be the case, but they don't say it. They just say we chose to have certain elements from FES in that re-release, and we purposely chose to remake the original P3 and not FES. They said it was intentional. So for that reason, I don't think we're gonna get a royal version of Persona 3 Reload. But you guys, I'm extremely curious. I think this is a fun topic to wrap the week up, and I hope you guys have a great weekend. I hope you enjoyed the quick video. Please tell me what you think of this theory here. Do you think a royal or a re-release version of Reload is a possibility? Make sure you drop a comment, and before you leave, a quick thumbs up if you're new to the channel, and make sure that little bell is active. That way you get notification, because I have big content coming for you guys in the upcoming weeks. And I do want to say one last thing. You guys, thank you so much for the support on the channel. The channel is almost 4 years old at this point, which is insane to me. And next week or the week after, I'm going to put out a video which is sponsored by a publisher that I love, and it is sponsored by a game that I'm insanely excited for. It's basically a dream come true for me, and this publisher would have never reached out to me for this sponsorship opportunity if it weren't for you guys. So you guys deserve a thank you from the bottom of my heart, because the channel wouldn't be anywhere without you guys. So thank you so much. I'm very excited to put out this video, because just recording it, this video is sponsored by X publisher. I'm sorry I can't say who it is yet, but it felt unreal. So from the bottom of my heart, thank you all, and I hope you have a great weekend. Bye.